I haven't even touched 50% of it yet because I didn't realize until I got so sick how sick I was going into some of the hardest things in the world. When I realized how tight my body was, because I didn't bitch about shit. I didn't go through like when you're going through SEAL training, you don't sit back and say, hey man, do you have this problem? Do you have that problem? Hey man, I'm having a tough time just getting my leg over the fucking cargo net. Because literally, my abductors were so fucking tight. How I ran was like, I took like steps like this big. I wasn't like striding out. My shit was fucked up. I had stretch fractures. Why did I have stretch fractures? Because my body was so tight in my hips that was forcing my body to go in. And I was putting pressure all on the inside of my body. So I lived with stretch fractures trying to tape up my body, tape up my shins, tape up shit. You don't go through, so I went through training this way. I was so fucked up. Issues with my fucking abdomen, issues with my fucking groin, all kind of messed up issues. So I realized I went through training, 100-mile races, 200-mile races, pull-up records, all on the mind. It wasn't a physical thing I had. I was broken, literally broken at the start line of everything I did, including Navy SEAL training, Ranger School. Everything I did in the military, I was fucked. But I didn't sit back and say, hey man, so no one knew. No one knew. I want to talk about it. And this is really the first time I really talked about it. So I basically realized, my God, man, at the 6th time in my life, I realized, my God, I was so fucked up the entire time. So now the mind is so powerful. I figured that out. Now, if I can get this body all stretched out, opened up, get all my organs working properly, now let's see at 44, let's see what can really happen. It's how you look at it. And I looked at my shit was this is the perfect training ground to being a man. A lot of people, like I was talking about taking the path of least resistance. I believe in life you must earn the right to be called a man. And a lot of people do not think the way I do, and that's fine. I'm not asking to be David Goggins. Trust me, it's a hard fucking road to hoe. It's not fun all the time. But the thing about it is, you have to look, I looked at my hardships as challenges. Once I got over the pity party, because I went through that phase. I'm a normal human being. But I realized that got me exactly where I was at, even worse. As I looked at those challenges the way most people do, woe is me. Why the fuck can't I get a break? Why? I wish I was better. I wish my parents were better. I wish I had a better education. I wish this, I wish that. They have all these wish sandwiches. I started realizing, how can I fucking figure out how this shit can fucking work for me? So the one thing we don't do is when we're in that dark place is a great learning environment. If you can sit back in a dark place and find quiet to just think, there's so much power in your failures, in your fucking, in your suffering. Because why? You're still alive. You're still fucking here. So you gotta look at that shit as, my God, man, this is power, man. Like, now I gotta flip this shit. How many men will be able to do what I'm about to do, what I'm about to try to do? Like, literally, what gave me strength was when I was at the worst of my worst. How many men would even fucking say they want to try to be a Navy SEAL? Right? I'm at the worst spot of my life. Like, I can't even walk down the street, let alone run down the street. And I'm gonna now call a recruiter up and try to be a SEAL. There's a lot of power in that. But people don't see it there. They see it, man, that's stupid. And the reason why, because I had this voice in the back of my head that I kept on running from. I was afraid of the water. I was afraid of dealing with things that made me feel unaccepted. I didn't accept myself. So I kept on going towards things that I felt good. Let me go this way. But something kept on saying, motherfucker, you have it, man. You got it, man. But you're going to have to fail a lot. But you have it. And like I said, that voice kept on haunting me. But that voice kept on saying, if you face it, you realize it's not that bad. To me, it's God. I don't get off on the whole spiritual tangent. I don't push that on anybody. I don't care what you believe in. But if you think you're the only motherfucker out here just chilling out and there's nothing, and I don't know what God is. No one does. I don't know anything about it. But I know there's something that is above David Goggins. There's too much energy in this world. There's too much. Trust me, I've experienced it, man. There's too much energy. And people call it God. You call it what you want. There's something out there that if you can tap into more than yourself, there's something out there that truly exists. That if you're able just to let yourself go there, it truly exists. And that voice has been in my head. And whatever it is, it's been there. And I didn't want to listen to it because listening to it was painful. Because it drove me to my fears. It drove me to my insecurities. It drove me to my lies. It drove me to the spot that made me feel self-doubt. And I didn't want to go there. It drove it like, hey, over here in this pile of shit where everything is at, you're going to find the true meaning of your life. I'm like, over there is all the bad shit. I don't want to go over there. My dad's over there. The people that didn't like me over there. I'm over there. All that shit is over there. But once you go over there and start to re-examine that shit and start to master what you're afraid of, it's unbelievable, man. Like, I wish to God, the only way I can really describe it is if I can get my brain and put it in someone's head and say, all right, motherfucker, just shut the fuck up and just here. I can't explain it well enough, but here, I'm not super fucking man. Just look, this is what happens. Because basically, what's over there is victory. It's all fucking victory. But you have to have the balls and the fucking courage, man. And that's the hard part. There's no science behind this shit. There's no fucking practice. Literally, you have to have to go in your own life, in your own shit. And once you go in there and you're able to face it and able to talk about it, you're now in the even playing field with everybody in the world.
You learn through voluntary contact with that frightens or disgusts you. And that's a hallmark of psychoanalytic theory. Carl Jung, who we'll discuss in detail, said his primary dictum was insterquilinus invenitur, which I'm sure I'm massacring because it's Latin, but it meant in filth that will be found. And one of the hallmarks of the clinical theories is that within the confines of everyone's experience, and you can think about this as experience out in the world or experience in the unconscious mind, there are dirty little secrets, let's say, and skeletons and dreadful old fears and memories of pathological behavior and failures of courage that leave you undeveloped, perhaps out of avoidance, and that the psychoanalytic process is precisely the careful encounter with those forgotten and repressed elements of the self in the hope that a clear encounter will redeem them, unite them with the remainder of your personality, and make you stronger in consequence. And I would say that that's just a variant of the manner in which human beings learn, and we'll talk about this more in relationship to Piaget, because you always learn when you're wrong, which is very annoying. Now, what do you learn when you're correct? You're walking in the world, you're operating in the world, you have a sense of what you want to have happen. You're always looking at the world through this sense of what you want to have happen. You're acting so that what you want to have happen will happen. And when it happens, well, then you're happy because, well, first of all, you get what you want, and that's good, maybe, depending on what you want. But it's also good because if you get what you want when you act, then it turns out that your model of how to act is valid, right? The outcome that you get what you want indicates no error on the part of your model. But it's very frequently the case that when you act to get what you want, you don't get what you want. And then that's unpleasant because you don't get what you want. But it's even more unpleasant because it brings with it the hint of a suggestion that the manner in which you're construing the world is incorrect at some indeterminate level. What you might describe as a journey into the belly of the beast being that place where things have fallen apart and where you're overwhelmed with negative emotion and chaos and confusion. And that's a very old story. That's the story of the journey to the underworld. And the hero is the person who makes the voluntary journey to the underworld to collect what's been languishing down there.